Over the past week or two, we've had a ton of Borderlands 4 news coming out, and there's a bunch of things that really got overlooked by the community. So with this video, I just want to go over some things that you may not have noticed about Borderlands 4 so far. The first thing I want to talk about is how now all of the cosmetics, at least that were listed in like the character customization tab, all of those list that those are earned from completing missions or challenges, which is really nice. That way you can actually flex prestigious challenges. I was showing this over on Twitter a few days ago, and a lot of people seemed really excited about it. So I wanted to share it here in this video as well. But it's just way better than like going to Crazy Earl and buying all of your different cosmetics from there. I'm sure there's going to be some places where like a cosmetic will drop from a boss or from like completing a certain activity, but for the most part, right now, everything that we saw in the trial version that we played at the Borderlands Fan Fest, all of those cosmetics were listed as completing a mission or a challenge, which is very exciting. Another feature that kind of got overlooked and I haven't seen anybody talking about yet is the fact that you can do all of your movement while you're affected by cryo. Back in Borderlands 3, if you got hit by cryo, you could no longer sprint, so you couldn't slide or do anything like that. And it was very frustrating because you would literally just get hit once and all of your movement would go away. Now in Borderlands 4, when you get hit by cryo, you do get slowed down, but you can still sprint, you can still double jump, you can do your dashes, you can literally do everything, which is awesome because that was always super frustrating in Borderlands 3. So now with Borderlands 4 being way more focused on movement and traversal, not having all of those negated by getting hit by one cryo round is a really good change. Another really small thing that I actually really liked and thought was a decent addition to the game is the fact that there is a reload timer now underneath your ammo when you hit reload. This way you can know exactly how long it takes before you can start shooting again. And so if you spec into any skills that reduce the time it takes to reload, you can see that live in action underneath your ammo, which is really cool. It's just something super simple, super small. A lot of people will just kind of gloss right over it. You may never use it, but it is something nice to have, and it's super, super simple. Next, the respec system got reworked in BL4. Here, you're going to be going up to a station, and then you can essentially remove all the points from just one tree. So if you want to get rid of just your green tree points, you can get rid of those, or you can get rid of all your points in just like one button hold. And then as you're speccing, you can also click a button to spec all the points into one skill. So like instead of clicking 5 times, you can just press one button and it will fill all 5 points in there. And then you can undo points as you're going along. So say you click too many times in a point, you can remove them super easily, and you can keep doing that and just messing around with different skill specs. As long as you don't leave that menu, it's not going to cost you extra money or anything like that, which is way better than the old system where you just hit respec and it instantly refunds all of your points. And if you mess up, you got to hit respec again. Something else that you may have missed is that there are going to be like VIP bounties within the game. I cleared out a safe house and then a bounty board opened up and I could do several different missions, some of them being going to kill a certain target. So I killed this like big buffalo thing called Awuga, and I'm sure all of those enemies are going to have like dedicated drops, or at least like those types of missions are going to have dedicated drops to them. I thought that was really cool. It spices up the open world a little bit and just makes it feel more full. So that's a really good addition to Borderlands 4. Something else that Borderlands 4 is doing is adding a stats screen, which I think is awesome. That way you can see all of the different bonuses that you have all in one spot. You don't have to like manually add things up. It's all going to be right there. You can see your weapon damage, anything like that, which is really cool. I think it's a very, much needed addition to the game, especially with the route that they're going, where there's definitely some very big ARPG influences within the game. I think this is a great addition. Something that I was laughing like crazy at is somebody told me to go to the bottom of my audio settings with all of the different sliders when I was playing. And all the way at the bottom is specifically a slider for Claptrap's voice. And as you pull it down, he's going to be like, no! And it's a great little addition. So if you guys do find Claptrap annoying, I know a lot of people do, you can just slide that all the way to 0 and you're never going to hear Claptrap talk. SDUs also got a rework on how you're going to be obtaining them. No longer are they going to be a money sink. Now you can actually find SDU fragments and spend that to actually upgrade the amount of ammo you can carry. I obtained some SDU fragments from just various open world activities, like I solved a little puzzle with these glowing yellow balls and a few other places. So I think that's way more exciting than just trying to find a bunch of money. And you can save your money for important things like respecking and all of that. Also, the boss resetting, you're going to need money for that. So it's nice that you don't have to sink all of your money into just SDUs. Like Wonderlands had insane, absolutely insane SDU costs. So it's really good that that's not going to be a thing anymore. Now you can just explore, passively get all of these different SDU fragments and spend them as you'd like. There's another really cool open world activity called rifts. They just spawn in these little bubbles and there can be bosses inside of them. I fought a pair of bosses in mine, which I thought was really cool. And if these are fairly common, you're going to find them very often throughout the world. I think that's going to be really good for making the world just, feel way more populated and things going on. And I thought it was a lot of fun. The bosses were pretty cool in there, and I'm curious to see what other ones we find throughout the full game. But I think that is a really good addition to the game. The last thing you may have missed was actually found by Tweety Expert. I'll have links to her Twitch and her Twitter down below. But as she was trying out the game at the Fan Fest, she went over a little bit of water and found out you can actually fish in Borderlands 4, which is crazy. You end up using the little grapple to pull things out of the water, and then you grapple the things that you pull out of the water to bring it back to you. And I guarantee you there's going to be a legendary or something tied to this. We did see the fish slap returning to the game, and I would be willing to bet a lot of money that this is going to be at least part of the way to obtain the fish slap, is you're going to have to fish for it. So I think that's a really cool addition to the game, and I know a lot of people are excited about it. So if you just want to kick back, stop shooting things for a few minutes and just do some fishing, you can do that, and I think that is amazing. But yeah, those are 10 features that you may not have noticed that are in Borderlands 4. I'm super excited for the game to come out. Let me know down below if any of these you did not see, or if there's anything that I didn't mention that you don't think enough people are talking about. Let me know in the comments down below. Maybe if there's enough of them, we can make a part 2. Yeah, if you're still watching this far, I really do appreciate it. And anyways, I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you in the next video. See ya.